are on.
Welcome to Angora Poets World Caffe, centered in Paris and presenting poets from the four corners of our planet, reading in their first language or their second language, because from these poets, all language is welcome. And so are you. And as we say, this session will go up later in the week on our Angora Poets YouTube channel and on our Angora Poets Facebook page and on Mo Singer's newsfeed Facebook page. So we're trying to get our message out. We're the mouse that roars. We don't want 50 people lined up to read. We want a dirty dozen good poets like you to come on and where the poems all land. So welcome everybody. And I would like to start off with a poem by, let's see tonight, by Claire Andriani, because usually you come in late. So it'd be nice to hear you early, Claire.
I do. Yeah, I'm early today. It's true.
Okay. And we're the better for it.
I have one for you called Almost Blue. Do you all know Chet Baker?
Ooh.
I love Chet Baker, and I discovered him yesterday, actually, when I wrote this poem. So, Almost Blue. When alone, without your body, without your breath, next to mine, I feel like a trumpet without air. And I listen to Chet Baker's Almost Blue, imagining you would still be there, imagining you would blow that trumpet for me. The night sky is gray as a greyhound without master, and I see the stars glide against the web of my unconscious. I find myself hoping you would hold my hand every day until it's never gonna be enough. And the sky continues its nightly ballet without you. I long to hear your laughter that has become mine too, almost blue, almost doing things we used to do. There's a man here and it's almost you, almost blue. That's the first one.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Beautiful piece.
Yeah,
Thank you.
That Claire, in your second language to boot. You know, Claire lives in Paris. She's French. This sister is writing in her second language. That was nice. And is there someone? Is there someone in particular that's the subject of this poem?
Yeah.
Okay. And does he or she know? Because that's a great poem to read. If you sent that poem to me, honey, I'd have to send you chocolate and flowers.
No, he doesn't know. He hasn't read it yet. Oh, I think
Okay.
he'll never read it.
Okay. Well, that's a great poem as a poem goes. And so how about a second one, Claire?
Yeah, second one called Summer. It's a poem about fruit. Fruit is wonderful. All shapes, all sizes, all colors, they crush under your teeth, smooth like a sun ripening, the opposite of moon, yellow like the smiles of my lover. They remind me of a warm day in summer where the cicadas sang among the weeds, an imaginary landscape made of wheat where I could lie forever, looking at the sky and laughing with my lover, my legs between his legs. I can feel it, the sun of eternity, the Garden of Eden, and I believe in its reality since its memory is so vivid. I remember now where it was, the past once made of present, the image, a reflection of the real. I got rid of all my jewelry, the superficial not being enough. Oh, yellow sky, yellow summer, yellow tree, come take me in your arms made of warmth.
Oh, yes.
Second one.
Miss Claire's in a romantic mood. All right.
She's on a
Do you
roll
have
today.
Yeah, really? Wow. It's nice to hear a seasonal poem during the pandemic that's uplifting, because deservedly we're writing a lot of stuff about isolation as well. Okay, Miss Claire, how about three's a charm?
Third one. I have one that is a little more reminiscent of COVID-19 this time, and it's called Nightcab. Nightcab. He's driving like a black ghost, coughing every now and then. There is hydroalcoholic lotion in the middle, showing proudly as if to reassure me, and yet, with a suspicious air, it seems to say, that might not be enough, I'm sorry. The car goes on and on. We both sit in silence, separated by a plastic lid between the driver and the passenger's seat. I am the passenger, always have been. We see people die, but it seems out of reality, as if it came out from a dream, as if it had been on another planet. We see the numbers, we see the extravagant newspapers, even though we try to avoid them. They rest on the shelves like ill-intentioned devils, grinning. The cab driver doesn't say a word. I wonder if any of this is real. The man rushes and drives uncertainly as if he wanted to go home, wondering if home even exists. We arrive at my hostel safe. Relieved, I think it is good to be alive. White as a newborn baby, I lose myself in the sky, while the cicadas, always hopeful, sing.
Well, thank you, Claire. That was nice. All three.
Thank
And
you.
of course, we'll be inviting you and other people back for the second round too, by the way, for everybody here. Miss Vicky, did you get your volume, your audio on?
Yes.
Okay, good. Well, right now, I'd like to go to New Orleans, go from Paris to Nouvelle Orleans, where the people speak that Cajun and that Creole that I can only hear, only understand part of that language. So
Yes.
on to you, Jane.
All right. All right. So three's a charm. My first one is I am a poet. Sit up. I am a poet. I am the air that I breathe. I am the words that I think. Take it to the brink, don't blink. Drink it in. Poetry is revolution. Word is the sound solution. Free you from the institution. I am ghosting the machine. I will wake you from your dream. I am a poet. I am a poet. I pen lines with a stroke. I spit rhymes when I toke. Inner fires I will stoke, 'cause I ain't no joke. I am a poet. And poetry is revolution. And words are the sound solution. Free you from the institution. I am ghosting the machine. I will wake you from your dream. I am a poet. I float bars when I write. Free your mind, shine a light. Open doors, free your might. You are what you think. You think what you are. Poetry is revolution. Word is the sound solution. Free you from the institution. I am ghosting the machine. I will wake you from your dream. I will free you from their scheme. I am what I know. I am what I sow. I am revolution wrapped in a straitjacket. And I will wake you from your dream. And I will wake you. And I will wake you.
Wow, people. She woke me. I tell you, woke me on that. All right. Everybody awake now. Number two, Jane.
2, Mr. America. What's up, Mr. America? My kind still ain't up and died. Will you ever be truly experienced? Or are you still just passing time? Wasting time trying to make heaven your home? You ain't wasting time. You're killing time. Sliding down this street, it's like I've been here before. And I didn't want to be here from last time. Do you remember last time? This could be the last time. Running from the repo man, my thoughts he cannot have. I'm hiding from the soul stealers that beckon to me from shadows of mind, and time keeps on ticking. And time keeps on ticking into the past, or is it the future? Is this the plan of man to keep us in the state of confusion, or a murder of the mind to perpetrate the illusion? You ain't wasting time. You're killing time.
Word to the wise. All right. I'm not sure who writes about time better. It's the poets, I believe. No, really, we do. We're so much aware of time, and we so often speak of time. I have, so many other people have, and that was very good. So, Jane, can you give us 3 is a charm?
3 is a charm. The art of poetry. The art of poetry is an excursion down deep, dark rivers of ink, exploring exposed imagination and deviation from conventional think. Mind stories steeped in prosish rhymes in time deliver you a freedom of some kind. Free your mind. Free your mind to spin free verse for what it's worth. I choose words for twisted tongued complexity. My navigations are negotiations between pure thought and poetry. Metamorphic reproductions, hallucinogenic interpretations, inspirations from observations echoed in a place unnamed, a transcendental contemplation turned compulsion to word you a vision of mind from a time left behind, or sent ahead without trepidation, where cosmic continuation flows like deep, dark rivers of ink.
Bravo, bravo. Wow.
Thank you, man.
Thank you
Well,
very
it's great
much.
to be here.
Yeah, it's great to hear you. We're all the better for it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So let's move over to a guy right now, hailing from right outside of Boston, and that would be John Weswick. Hello, John.
Hello. Okay, so you mentioned Jerry Jazz musician. I actually got one poem in there, and I'll read that for you. It's called Just Another Punk Rocker Writing About Jazz. They must have materialized at the open mic out of carbon and nitrogen in the air, those poets you'd never see in a jazz club. A guy in Roman helmet like Mohawk reads 3-chord rhymes about Mingus and MC and Fat Farm jeans, fires machine gun words about Miles into women in high collar and sensible shoes, chops Art Blakey into 14 lines of 10 syllables. Seems you can't be a real poet unless you write about jazz. Sid and Johnny Rotten dodging loogies in Dallas, Jimmy burning his guitar at Monterey Pop, and Grandmaster Flash close to the edge just won't do. So when the girl with a stud in her tongue says Coltrane, I have to hear him the way Jack and Alan did. A one-man hallelujah chorus, his sax blowing eternity like Rumi's reed flute, notes hopping and skipping from step to step up a staircase of rapture to the backing of piano chords and the pop and crackle of needle on vinyl. But the literature of manual typewriters, Benzedrine, and William Burroughs hats has already been written. Where is the poetry slathered in SPF 16 to protect from the Coachella sun? The poetry of MP3 whose boots are caked with Glastonbury mud.
Well, that'll hold up. Do it right in your face, jazz poet. Now,
Okay,
I'm a jazz poet, and I totally dig what you had to say, man.
thank
Totally
you,
dig it.
thank you.
I just
Okay,
want
so
to
you
say
have-
something real quick.
Go ahead.
I could have sworn, Mo, that this was Bill reading this poem. He sounds a lot like Bill.
Oh,
Yeah, you'll. Go ahead, Mo.
Yeah, no,
well,
that's
well,
all I want to
this
say.
Bill guy must be quite talented.
Yeah, because as soon as he gets out of custody, he's going to be on the show.
Okay, okay. So I have two
But in
poems
the
about
meantime,
Paris.
brother,
I have
we
two
have
poems about Paris for you.
go ahead with it.
Okay, a Paris hotel. A phalanx of ebony-skinned prostitutes lies in ambush along Rue d'Aboukir. One aims spandex-covered breasts at me, bats blue-caked eyelashes, and whispers, "Ça va?" through greasy, painted lips. When I walk away, she hollers, "Attendez!" The concierge fingers the stubble on his chin and speaks to me with a gravelly voice. "You American? Okay, pay me cash tomorrow." I trudge the frayed carpet up 7 flights of narrow stairs to my penthouse. 300 francs buys me a collapsed mattress, peeling paint, toilet, shower, and a sign forbidding clothes washing. A dusk breeze carries distant French and Arabic conversation through my window. I step onto the balcony, chimney stacks sprout, a strange forest from Paris's mansard roofs. I gaze through apartment windows, imagining the tenants' lives. The city's buildings expand and contract, drawing breath through doorways and Gothic arches. The living organism covers the entire continent. Europe looks at me with tired eyes.
Yeah, that was an accurate description. And then you said French francs. So you were here.
Yeah, 2001 was before the Euro.
Right, okay, right. When somebody would come over and they'd say, "How much is it, please?" And someone would say, 350 francs. And they would shit themselves until that translated into like $12.
Yeah, I think it was something like 5 cents or so in the day.
So it's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, can you give us threes of charm?
Yes, I can. So, like everybody, I visited the Père Lachaise cemetery for Jim Morrison, but I thought that Oscar Wilde's tomb was much more touching. And so this is called Remembering Oscar. A woman bends toward the monolith and places a kiss of acceptance on the rough white stone. Rest now. Your persecution is over. The rusty iron bars that eclipsed your light in the damp Victorian prison cell are only a memory. Gardeners tend flowers in the prayer sun. Red and pink outlines of 100 lips adorn the tomb.
Okay, that was nice. That was nice. Père Lachaise here. Yeah, and right. Just about everybody's heard of Père Lachaise, and there's no disappointment when you go there. History of the Western world, underground. That's some underground for you, Père Lachaise.
There you go.
Hey. All right, thank you. Stick around for the second round.
Mo, you got muted.
Okay. I was going to say, Benedicta keeps flashing on and off down there in Ghana, where sometimes her signal gets disrupted. So I guess she can't hear me now, but we're hoping she comes back on and stays on with us. And in the meantime, then, how about you, Mr. E.C. Wells?
Sure. So I'll just kind of maybe slow us down a little bit. I'll start by saying that my preferred pronouns are they and them. I really appreciate the opportunity to share with you guys. Mohammed is telling me that I'm not able to share my screen. Is it possible for
I
you to
got
start
you. Hold on a second. Let me see. Share screen. Hold on. Oh, what's going on? It's weird. Okay, you should be able to now. Try.
Yep. Yeah, it worked now. Thanks.
It works?
I like
Yeah.
your picture.
All right.
That's a cool picture.
Thank
Okay.
you very much. So is everyone able to see the screen now?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, great. So let's look at the first thing that we're going to look at.
Ah, yes.
So this is actually a book that was recently released by Alien Buddha Press, so I have to thank them for all the work that they're doing on this. The book is titled Beyond. So this is something of a forward. Expression. A gene produces a protein. A body produces a word. The body expresses. Acquisition. The body retains expressions acquired in previous encounters. A chimera. It's Creole.
Okay, and thank you. And can we hear a second one, please?
Sure. So this is actually from a section of the book entitled Expressions of the Body of Me. And you'll have to tell me. Are you able to hear that audio?
But we can read it too.
We can hear you if that's what you're asking. Are you trying to play music, EC?
I am, yes.
Okay. Is it coming directly from your computer?
Yes, it is.
Then I would suggest you don't happen to have it on a phone, would you?
No.
I'm not entirely sure how can I help you there, my friend.
All right. So I'll just try this really quickly. If everyone can mute yourselves, I'm going to turn up my speakers
Okay.
and let it play through my microphone.
All right.
23 to being out there another outside night languid wanting her fingers tickled to tremors red rims remember D lids canyons eyes inside 23 is us learned lineage felt connection the hope of langogi hope of language passing in passing G language passing in passing G among G passing in passing among G and passing G and passing among and passing G and passing G and passing among and passing G and passing G and out to be metabolized D by another outside.
Wow.
Yeah. All right.
Your voice recording sounds as we were talking about Star Trek earlier, and technological artificial voices today. You sounded like you were coming in from cyberspace.
Yeah, so these are actually computer-generated voices. The concept of this book is that there are three bodies, the expressions of three bodies. So now we'll be going to the expressions of another body. If you're able to see the screen again, you'll see that these are expressions of the body of the lover. So this will be a slightly different voice.
One knows love, what love, whom heart finger, world heart finger, that from the tears tip ribbon, le chavan, ribbon, le chavan, com, ibriatas intractable, the intractable understand is unknowable, love, langer, ultimate, oh, why, like, uar, forget, labor, field, counter image to features, capsize, either at the head of like, kind of later, poiso, and ordar lamps, Paris, I observe like P31 itself, the perversio, and love, paltry, is adored, deep, P33, impress, amorous, beanies, H, and abstract, T, patient, and appropriate, are adapos, precise Y and P37 anxiety Y promise DA and proportion S Amara S passionate to be mine be me by Amara S of B offer and Gina. One no.
All right. So we really appreciate the opportunity.
All right. Well, so did we.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Now, was that your voice in the third poem, EC?
No. So both of the recordings that you heard are actually computer-generated voices. One of them being the voice of the body of me, and then the other the voice of the lover.
Now, let me ask you a question. How are listening audiences responding to this style of computer-generated audio?
So I've used this with another book when I did a small tour in the past, and the response was pretty positive then. I also used this this mode of computer-generated voices when I was doing presentations of the text from my MFA thesis, and there were some positive responses then as well. One of the common responses is the generation of questions in the audience, because it is a bit of a variation from what most people consider the traditional or the norm of a reading. And so it's interesting to kind of engage in a dialogue or discourse following the questions that arise from it.
Okay.
I'm actually curious about the reactions that you got in terms of, because it's exactly as you said. It's not exactly the traditional reading, but like I don't know. Like I would imagine someone would say, a machine expressing things on your behalf, something like that. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. So it does thematically, it does connect with some of the work that I was doing in my thesis, because I use things like chance operations. And so when I was generating those texts, in a number of instances, I was using machine learning or algorithms to shape those texts. In this particular text, it seems appropriate because they are distinct voices. And the idea or the concept of the book is that it is expressions of three separate or distinct bodies. So if it were simply my voice presenting the expressions from all three bodies, there would be a sort of representational falseness, if we wanted to call it that.
Okay.
Hey, EC, did you ever hear of a poet named Jackson Maclow?
Yeah.
Because he did weird stuff. What he did is he took Ezra Pound's texts and he had a computer pull out words at random from it and use those as poems. And he had a whole book of those. I think it was called something like E's and M's with Ez or so on. And
yeah, I encountered his work, and then of course John Cage did a lot of chance operation poetry and also music. There's a long tradition of it, but it's not, I guess, what would be considered the mainstream tradition of writing.
Yeah.
Well,
I wanted to say that it inspired me to think about something that I would have probably never thought about, which is a good thing. It made me feel like I wanted to take moans when your person that did the sex voice, she was like so mechanical that I would like to hear some real moans from some real sex goings on, and to see how that would come out into a poem with just using the moans and the sounds of a real sex act from different people. It was.
I think that's a great idea. In fact, when I was doing my final presentation for my MFA thesis, a number of times with the narrative where in the past I had been using these computer-generated voices, I had voice actors come in and read it, and then it felt very different. And so I think that might be a great concept for this one as I continue to present from this book as well.
Okay, well,
sorry to cut in. Sorry, Vicky, your mic is really, really faint.
Yeah.
Okay, is that better?
Yeah.
A little bit
better.
Yeah.
But right now, if I may, thank you, EC. If I may, I'd like to move over across the continent and the ocean. Well, here it's back. We have an Algerian poet presently visiting us in Paris, and that's Dalila. Hello, Dalila Zegar. Hello.
Hello.
No, I'm asking for Dalila, Vicky.
We?
Yeah, that's
Hello?
you. Yeah, asking you to come on and read for us, please. And asking everybody to mute, Vicky, so that we don't get background noise. and take a minute while Delila's collecting to say hi, Benedicta. Do you hear us?
Hello, everybody.
Okay, 1 second. Benedicta, we see your face online, your image, hoping you'll get connected with us to audio. And now, let's go to the north of the African continent, spoken here in Paris with Delila. Hello, Delila.
That's nice.
Hi, Mo.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mo. I wrote this poem these days. It's called Voyage irréel, unreal trip. I was in Algeria. The confinement is harder when you are separated from family. In this case, my daughter was confined in New York and I was confined in Algiers. I wanted us to be in the same country, France, Paris. So, voyage irréel. Partir, partir, partir. Silence assourdissant. Peur dans le ventre. Vais-je enfin partir? Ouf, confirmation, oui. Dans 4 jours, je m'envole. Qui aurait pensé que je ferais un tel voyage? Aéroport vide, agents, policiers, autoritaires silencieux, voyageurs debout, attendent la traversée vers l'avion. Urgence, inquiétude, rejoindre les proches. Le temps est si long, si lente est l'action. Passagers fantômes, confinés, comprimés, visage au masque coloré, regard hagard, gestes mécaniques, doigts crispés, bagages rassemblés, passeport, mouvement de foule vers les allées sombres. Enfin, l'avion. Terreur, psychédélique, confinement, siège occupé, aucun espace entre passagers. Une petite fille tape sur le dos de mon siège. Impatience, tristesse, fatigue.
Okay. Silence, distance, tristesse, isolation. You got it. Voila. Can we hear a second poem, Dalila?
Yeah.
Good.
It's about, okay. I have always been interested by writing tales and poems for children. Here is an example, a poem I wrote years ago while helping my child to understand learning. It is the story of a hedgehog, in French it's hérisson, who wanted to learn how to be happy. I called it Hérisson vaillant. Il était une fois un beau jour, un grand jour, un hérisson qui voulait coûte que coûte apprendre à marcher seul et libre. Oh là là, la route est longue, dure, dure. Comment faire? Chaque jour, de toutes ces petites griffes, il s'accroche à la paroi d'une petite colline de 100 cm. Si haute pour lui, si petit. Il monte, 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 puis zut alors, glisse, 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 et se retrouve au point zéro, découragé, désespéré. Sa volonté lui parle tout doucement. Vas-y, tu n'es pas si loin. J'ai peur. Puis, le cœur vaillant reprend son ascension. Il imagine qu'arrivé là-haut, il pourra être content d'essayer bien d'autres possibilités de jouer. Dégringoler la pente sur le dos, sur les pattes, sur la tête, Petit hérisson se sent grand et fort, puis heureux. Il démarre. Allons-y. Hop, hop et hop. J'y suis. Bravo, bravo, bravo. Il se sent libre, libre et libre. Un plaisir savoureux. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. That was great. I could imagine
like
imagine a flying hedgehog. All right, why not? That's a good dream, a good story, or a good drug. It works. Okay, Delita, sweetheart, can you give us a Three's a Charm? A third poem, a troisième.
Oui, alors j'ai deux, mais je ne sais pas lequel. Un s'appelle Amour toujours et l'autre s'appelle Des femmes, Women.
No, wait, you're going to read two poems or one?
One of them.
Okay, because one was Love Always, and you said, and the other one, which one are you reading?
Women, Des femmes.
Okay, women.
As a woman, I need to speak about the meaning of life for a woman. It does not go against men, for I am very much aware, thanks to my experience as a student, as a researcher, that man's life is also full of hardships. Des femmes, prêtes à tout pour un mieux vivre, capacité porteuse d'originalité, de créativité et de changement. Sans en faire un plat, elles bougent. Dans la douleur, elles crèvent, se tordent encore et encore. Au minimum d'espoir de survie, de vie, elles relèvent la tête et marchent. Pleurer sans bruit, sans être vues, malgré les blessures continues. Elles cherchent toujours à bâtir. Tel un phénix, mourir et renaître. Partage entre femmes, havre de paix, moment de douceur, sérénité volée, conscience partagée, bousculée, café, gâteau, rire et parler. Bravoure courageuse, volonté audacieuse, conscience nouvelle, guérie, guérisseuse, savoir partagé, apprentissage éclaté, femme fière de vivre de liberté.
De vivre la liberté. Yes. Okay. Thank you very much, Leela, and stay on board for the second round with us. Okay, very nice. Okay, so now, how about, let's see who we got on. How about Vicky? Hello, Vicky. Hello.
Vicky.
Hello, Miss Vicky, wherever you are.
Vicky, you probably are muted.
I'm unmuted now. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yes.
Yeah, everybody was muted, so it takes me a minute.
Okay.
It's all good.
So you want me to do my pieces now?
Yes, please.
Okay. I don't get any better introduction than that. The name of this piece is called When Women Were Deities. I wrote this June 2nd, 2015. And it goes like this. Too much testosterone in our baloney. Too much testosterone in our baloney killed the dignity of our femininity, stepped out of my character into front lines. Armed with cocktails, rocks, and lighters, mothers, warriors, and freedom fighters, Black setbacks and women's rights too, taking us back 360 degrees. We needed to be seen on the scene. We had double the work to do. While men wore heels and jerry curls, there's so much I've forgotten. But I still remember losing ground while trying to make gains, slaying giants in arenas while dying in boardrooms, burning symbolic bras on battlefields. We proved ourselves bold, not blindly obeying, doing as we were told. So many have forgotten, but I was there and I still remember while we exercised our right to vote, rights we earned while crosses burned. No voting while female, no voting while black. Now from the women's rights, our rights were taken back. Steadfast we remained, yet loving and tender. So many have forgotten. I was there. I still remember. Too much testosterone in our baloney. We did the man's job and fought for the same pay. Waging war over wages. Women of the ages saying no to demands outrageous. Steadfast we remain, yet loving and tender. So many have forgotten. I was there. I still remember when we were women, we stood strong, fighting two sides of the battle against wrong. Wrongs against our race and wrongs against our gender. Steadfast we remain, yet loving and tender. So many have forgotten, but I was there, and I still remember. We were women back then, sisters and friends and mothers. They said we were disrespectful and displaying disrespect because we'd leave the battlefield and go hang out at discotheques. Steadfast we remained, yet loving and tender. I was there and I still remember. Some battles were won. Some say we lost the war. We lost our men and we lost our sons. Food modified for power and control, chemicals and GMOs. Women fulfilled many roles, politically incorrect or not. We had to take our liberties back. Something in the state of New York was certainly rotten. I'm here now, and I have not forgotten. Today I shape shift like a one-celled amoeba from Nzinga to Harriet, from Harriet to Condoleezza, from Condoleezza to Angela, from Angela to Oprah, from Oprah to Yemenya, from Yemenya to Maya, from Maya to Queen Mother Ya Asantiwa. Queen Mother Ya Asantiwa, who protected us through the Middle Passage. Goddesses, warriors, revolutionists. You see, I am a female deity, and I am here now. I am Oladeji, and I have not forgotten. In peace.
Yeah, that poem is a good lesson for people of younger generations.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
That was slamming, Miss Vicky.
Give thanks, give thanks. Thank you.
I had some yes and twa there.
Okay.
It's something of Ghanaian
Okay, well, we're gonna.
empowerment.
Okay, well, we're gonna ask Vicky right now, Benedicta.
I hope you
Hello.
can hear.
Yeah, I can hear you now, and we're gonna ask Vicky to read her second poem.
Okay.
Okay, Vicky.
Okay. Okay. Trying to maneuver here. Okay, my second poem I had pulled up and I can't find it, so I'm just gonna go to another poem at random. And the name of this piece is called it's a comical piece. It's my attempt at humor, and it's called The One-Uppers. And this is about people that always have to one-up you. The one that always one-ups you, not easy to talk to. They always want your ear but will not lend you theirs. Want your undivided attention, yet they will quickly replace your experience with one of their own, because one-upping is all they know. Can I say black without them saying blacker? May I be sick without them being sicker? Is it okay if your pain hurts more than mine? If I show you a bump on my behind, you must show me one that rash on your ass. I know we all have friends like that, at least one or two. If I try to share with them anything that requires focusing on me, all I get from them is been there, done that. Before the words leave my mouth, they finish my sentences. They jump right in and one-up you every time. If I say I jumped out of a burning car, they did too, but one better, they landed in a lake of fire. Now, this last one takes the cake. They were one-upping another friend as I overheard the telling of the tale. Now, using a story that had happened to me to one-up another friend, I heard them telling my tale. Tisk, tisk, such a liar. What kind of people this? Oh, well, I give up. How long must I tolerate these spoilers? Only time will tell. But in the meantime, all you one-uppers, just go to hell in peace.
Yes, yes. Yeah, indeed. And I think we've all, from time to time, have been a one-upper. So and that was cool, real cool. Can you give us, Vicky, Three's a Charm?
Okay, then I don't know. I had everything pulled up. I don't know why it's doing this to me. So where did it go? All right, give me a minute. Because I don't know what happened. I was navigating. I had all the stuff pulled up like you told me to. Pull it.
You got it.
I got it. Yeah, poetry. So, you know what? I should probably just go to my history and find it. That would be probably faster. Yeah. Let me do it that way. Because it was there and now it's not there. Okay. History. Where is it? History. That's not working either.
Okay, well, I have a suggestion, Vicky. Why don't you find that poem or a third poem you wish to read, and when you come on it, come back on and read it. Okay? So we'll know you're coming back in when you find that third poem. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, good. So next I want to move over to Ghana, to Volta in Ghana, while she's got herself a signal tonight with us, and that's Benedicta. Hello, Benedicta.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Moy. Good evening. It's evening time here.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you hear me? Is the sound clear? Okay. Yeah. This time around, I'm not in Volta. I've come home to see my parents. So I'm currently in Sunyani.
Okay.
I came home to see my parents, so I'm not in Volta at
Well,
the
we hear
moment.
you loud and clear.
Is the sound better?
Yes.
Hello?
Yeah, your sound is fine. But
Okay, it's breaking at my end. That is why I'm asking.
go ahead, give it a shot because it's coming
Okay,
over
so
clear.
the first one is a micro poem. I read, a portrait of loyalty, eloquence, an attestation that sways. That's the micro poem.
Okay, read that again. It's so brief. Let's hear it again.
A portrait of loyalty, eloquence, an attestation that sways. That's about it.
Okay. Can you give us a second poem?
Okay, the second one. The stench of horrific pain, jaded and terrified, kinked without mercy, the ruthless measure of hostility, whispering, I can't breathe, I can't breathe, a gasp for air, in willows of why, an overturn of tears, in a vague distance, lying lifeless, life becomes a snatch and undated, an unseen quest for the unknown. Standing still, I say, all lives matter. That's the second one.
Okay, thank you. And now we would like to hear from you. Yeah, 3 is a charm.
All right, the third one. Hold on a second. The third one is a monoku, which is sentiments.
Which is, for those of you, I had to learn, that is a one-line poem, right?
Definitely. So I read, sentiments and facets of a narrowed disguise. Hope you got it.
Sure did. And glad your signal's holding up. And I sure do hope your signal's good for the second round so we can have you participate again in that round.
Sorry?
I say, I hope your signal holds up.
Definitely.
Oh, good. So we can definitely. I saw you. I saw your face peek through that image. Come on. We've seen you. Okay. Saw you there. Come on.
Okay, Mo.
I ran away.
Okay.
I'm in a narrow disguise, as I said.
Okay. I always think with you women when you put the when you don't show visual image that you're having a bad hair day.
I'm having a bad everything day.
Certainly, that is why.
Okay. So
it's because
now,
I was traveling. That is why.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, there you are. Hi. Okay. There she is. Well, you look nice.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you.
Thank you. And as
You
I
look
was saying,
handsome too.
Okay. Are you enjoying your parents?
Oh, for sure. They are all doing great.
Oh, good. That's real good to hear.
I'm currently in a place called Sunyani.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's in the Bron Ahafo region, the Bono region.
Okay. And I have no idea what part of Ghana that is, but okay.
It's a peaceful place. You will love the place. So you all have to come down to Ghana and I'll show you around.
Now that would be cool. I've been invited to a Ghana Poetry Festival by Kwame Adu. And then the funding didn't come through from the government to bring us in. But I'm hoping to get there because there's such a good tradition of Ghanaian poetry. Such a good one. All right. And I think, Vicky, were you suggesting you found your...
Yeah, it
She's
is.
ready. We ready for Vicky, everybody? Ready.
Uh,
Ready
this
for
is my
Freddie and Vicky too?
this is my signature poem. It's my favorite poem written by me, and the name of it is called "I'm Your Medicine." As a poet, I'm your medicine. That type of medicine. Okay, here we go. Every day you wake up, you need to give thanks. I am the past, the present, and you are the potential. I am the essential. You are the future, and I am the now. I am the reality, in that order means I am sequential. If you hear me, you need to give thanks because there is a reason for this. Why is Mama Oladeji always coming with some messages piercing my skin, you ask? Why is she always getting under my skin? Because I'm taking you places you've never been. And there's a reason for this. I am your medicine. I wake you up by coming abrupt, always giving you what you need to succeed. I need you to succeed, but you first must concede and take this dose of healing energy. And if you don't like me and find me hard to swallow, there's a reason for this. I am your medicine. Nappers dozing on me get up, pick me up quick when I give them back their confidence because I'm raw with it. I'm not sugarcoating. I am deflating the bloated. I am inflating the flats, removing the fat, putting you on diets, removing all that, replacing murky minds with new ambitions, restoring cognition, giving you insight to the real conditions. There's a reason for this. So if you say no, run into your rabbit hole. You know what rabbits do in there. But if you want back the knowledge stolen, I have got the mystery solved. So I must tell you to use your uncommon senses, that which you were born with. I've got the words to heal the nation. This message is not for rabbits. My people, no scorn. You've been forewarned. If you don't open, I cannot force it down your throat. You need to swallow me like some make me smart tea, like herbal juice, guzzle me, like herbal juice, guzzle me, slurp me up like miso soup, drink me down like a blood purifier. There's a reason for this. Every day you wake up, you need to give thanks. If you can hear me, open your intuition and listen really slowly. I am your medicine. I kill bacteria, offer new criteria. I stimulate the blood circulation. I open third eyes and pineal glands. I activate prostrate so you can stand up straight. I give injections to cure the infections. There's a reason for this. Allow my words to heal. Listen and be still. A big dose of my skills every day will unclog your arteries. So open up and swallow me. I am your medicine. You can love to hate me, but you'll feel better if you take me. There's a reason for this. Your fate will be changed to a conscious state. You'll be restored. I am your daily dose of pick-me-up. My words cure, serving it up with music, words, and concern. From my spirited pen, I am your medicine. Open wide, take me in stride. Be the wholesome and become wholesome. Become one, in tuned with the oneness vibration. I'm that elixir that cures all ills. It ain't in no pill. It's by hearing the truth spoken that you'll be cured. I speak truth into energy that's good. Now open and become the wholesome, if you would. I am your medicine. In peace.
Yeah. Right. Lesson here. Yeah. Boy, it's another poem tonight that triggered the applause meter. All right. A lot of applause meter.
My favorite part, I said my favorite part, in case you didn't catch that, is I activate your posture so you can stand up straight. Did you get that part?
Oh, yeah. I got it. As a man, I got that. I heard you on that loud and clear.
Okay.
I like that. Wholesome, be wholesome.
Right.
That makes a lot of sense.
Wholesome.
Yeah.
Give
Okay, well, thank you.
Straight.
All right.
You're welcome.
Okay. So now I would like to go over, switch continents again, and ask Mohammed Tariq, our poet, technical co-pilot and poet, to come on and read for us. Mo, how you go?
All right. So, between nicotine and cocaine, ego's one hell of a drug. Nostalgia hangs over your shoulder like a dream you insist is real. In front of a jury made of trauma and a judge with an existential crisis, you evolve into a regressing roller coaster, a sponge for data, an Eden for spies. They'll call your fleeting privacy a privilege. Do you remember a time when you appreciated the quiet, when your diet excluded a digital opinion on politics, when Facebook wasn't there to inspire cannibalism? People asked for phone numbers then. Sometimes just asked about you.
Yes, that resonates. Number 2, Mo.
Bravo.
Number two. Well, here's a favorite. The vacuum cleaner screams loud from the living room, as loud as what passes for conversation on Fox News. There's a lady on Facebook miming a reaction to a video. Guess she thinks the audience has the IQ of a toothbrush. My hair looks like a mob fight, a fishing net that popped out of some white guy's toaster. Somebody called a Navy SEAL in. I'm declaring war on dandruff. The piano's flipped to the side like a yoga instructor with bad posture. Apparently in the mood for namaste. Apparently not in the mood for namaste or music theory. The radio plays an auto-tune salad and calls it the latest hit. Social media is trending with obituaries. Everybody's mourning the loss of Kim's expired nail polish. BLM's called anti-Semitic for solidarity with Palestinians. Somebody call the anthropologist and tell him Arabs aren't Semite. We all know Z's winning the monopoly for victimhood. Candace says Floyd shouldn't be a martyr because of his past, but I guess a misogynist can run for president. They say black on black crime is on the rise, all hail a culture that glorifies thugs, but Columbus, Preston Marshall, and Forrest of the KKK get to have monuments though. Citizens are protesting against the mask apocalypse. Death is a small price to pay for comfortable skin. Let's just say natural selection's got a weird sense of humor. Soon, celebrities will be getting paid top dollar to tell you to vote at the slot machines. Everybody's going to turn expert in statistics and read the ones that match the sound of their voice. Preach educated guesses with a tone so woke the coffee beans lose their odor. So woke the receipt gets a writer's block. So woke they put this poem to sleep.
Whoa, all right. Yes, yes. All right.
Wow.
Okay,
Man, I
Mo.
really enjoyed that. Thank you.
And the third and the last, I haven't been writing a lot, so, but I'll get there. Let's see. And there's a coffee shop in Savannah, Georgia. The entrance laid out with trails of footprint stickers instead of carpets. Crooked lums wiggle your heels like a ghostly handshake, as if letting you know that you're weird enough to pass. Black coffee kegs proclaim the nationalities that America is white enough to forget. There's a kindness that lingers here, aromas wafting in the air like a wake-up call for the neglected. The walls glued with pallets of tattered paper rallies, exhausted but solemn in their resolve. A boy sits in the corner, tailored fit for his self-esteem, his heart throbbing like a spilling wishing well, eyes shifting between his notes and a question so quiet it was loud. What the hell was he even doing here? The bell rings to announce more regulars, flustered college kids reaching for ivory mugs for a sobering they'll never get, but the kegs pour anyway. I watched and marveled at the name of the place. They called her the sentient being. Every sip of her black majesty, a salty, a salve for the soul. No matter how many people came and went, there was always a seat. No matter how they laughed, the melancholy thrived like the ode to joy that played in spite of a deaf man, like life that goes on, indifferent to contentment or cynicism. In this cathedral of mugs and peeled timber, in the company of those with strange, vibrant wares, so desperate to oust themselves from houses that never gave them a home, I left a memory I couldn't sober from to this day, as if I had found a coffin that I'd always wanted.
All right,
Man,
Mo.
wow. I'm telling you, that's just profound and deep. Every line, both poems. But I've never known any IQ lower than a toothbrush before. That was.
You've never what?
No, the IQ lower than a toothbrush.
Yeah, really.
I like that line.
And judging from what people are doing online, especially the hee-haws, is I'm sorry I called the Trumpers hee-haws. They're misspelling things, and I think they need to find a cheap brush. Might help these folks.
Wow.
Oh, somebody's tuning in
just,
from the mountains.
I love those lines, all the lines on both poems. Mo, your writing is exquisite. I really enjoy this.
Thank you, Vicky. Thank you, Vicky.
Yeah, she's speaking for the rest of us on the screen here too. All right. Thank you, Mo. And will you be with us in the second round?
I'll try. I'm getting tired. By the way, Jack made it, hence me saying, yeah, someone's tuning in from the mountains. Jack Cooper.
Right. Can you hear us, Jack?
It says connecting audio.
Okay, good enough. While Jack is back, we're going to move back to Paris in France, and we're going to ask Caroline Adler to come on now and read for us.
Okay. Let's begin with a French, very short poem. So short that I can try to traduce it entirely in English.
Okay, that's a good deal.
Because it's 5, maybe 6 lines, I think.
What?
Very short.
Let's hear it.
We'll love it either way.
It's the title is in English. It's titled "Grave with No Name." So I read it first in French and then I'll traduce it in English. Tu aimes la musique? Tu ne parlerais pas. Planté en plein soleil, j'entends le fracas du silence, la terre tomber sur le couvercle de bois. Do you like music? You won't talk. Just in the sun, I can hear the sound of silence, the earth falling down on the, maybe it's a top, a wood top. I don't have the words in English, but it's something like that.
Okay, well, it sounded very good in French, so hey, très bien en français.
Yeah,
Hein?
it
Merci.
was.
And we have francophones. We have francophones in the house tonight, so you were heard very well by several of us. Yes. Okay, so can we have your next one, Caroline?
Yes. The next one will. Maybe I'll begin with another one, longer French one, but a very famous one. It's from Victor Hugo. It's Demain de l'Aube. It's a very famous
Oh, I love it.
But yeah, so I just wanted to read it. For once, I read something very famous.
You have to tell the story.
Very sad poem.
Very sad poem.
Yes, he wrote it. His daughter died, and he didn't went to see her when she was buried, and
at the funerals.
Yes. And he wrote this poem just the day before he went to see her for the first time, a long time after. So it's a beautiful poem. A sad one. Demain dès l'aube. Demain dès l'aube, à l'heure où blanchit la campagne, je partirai. Vois-tu, je sais que tu m'attends. J'irai par la forêt, j'irai par la montagne. Je ne puis demeurer loin de toi plus longtemps. Je marcherai les yeux fixés sur mes pensées, sans rien voir au dehors, sans entendre aucun bruit. Seul, inconnu, le dos courbé, les mains croisées, triste, et le jour pour moi sera comme la nuit. Je ne regarderai ni l'or du soir qui tombe, ni les voiles au loin descendant vers Harfleur. Et quand j'arriverai, je mettrai sur ta tombe un bouquet de houx verts et de bruyères en fleurs. So, about the second one, we lost Mo.
No, we didn't lose Mo. No, I was pouring a glass of. No, I was in the kitchen pouring me a glass of water with the volume on.
Yeah.
So, no, you didn't lose me. It's true.
So it's the second one, and the third one would be a poem in Spanish from Juan Gelman.
A brief description.
Let's going on with very sad poem. Its name oh merde, absence? No.
Yeah, absence.
Absence d'amour. Ausencia de amor.
Oh, the absence of love.
Lack of love.
Lack of love.
So let's read it. ¿Cómo será, pregunto? ¿Cómo será tocarte a mi costado? Ando de loco por el aire, que no ando. ¿Cómo será acostarme en tu país de pechos tan lejano? Ando de de pobre Cristo a tu recuerdo, clavado, reclavado. Se raya como sea, tal vez me estalle el cuerpo todo lo que he esperado. Me comerás entonces dulcemente, pedazo por pedazo. Seré lo que debiera, tu pie, tu mano.
Muchas
Very
gracias.
sad today.
It's a love poem also.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Okay. Well, thank you, Caroline. And now, Jack Cooper, can you hear us? I know he's in the mountain. Hello, Jack.
I'm here.
Oh, good. So you're in line right now to read.
Really?
Yeah. We're near the end of the first round, and I'm calling on you to read.
Okay. All right. I have to coordinate.
All right. If you need a minute, you can go after the next poem.
Hold on. I think I can handle it. Yeah, I wanted to read, what did I want to read? Oh, I thought I would read this. It's called, oh yes, wait. It's called Study in Chrome Yellow. Alone and philosophical, I prefer, I think, to remain apart from the world. Only one bright ribbon of sunlight showing in my dim domain. All circumstance to the interior. Everything else, noise, configuration, cause, traceable to a clue, an errant speculation. Food rested in bed and love by surprise. Connection to anyone is severed, except as it occurs, and it does, daily, profoundly, lacking only pattern and rights, presumption, purpose in earnest.
Yes. All right. I kind of left the background color there, getting caught up in the complexity of your language. It's very nice.
No, thank you.
But then I suffer from brain damage, so I can only see from one side. So
Yeah.
I'll fess up on that. But can we hear a second one, Jack?
Yes. This is called Put Your Ruby Slippers On. And it's dedicated to James Brown. An island always obtains in paradise, if only that far. A line up ahead, virtual as the horizon. Brilliance simmering down on its luck. Brightening hope amounted to another day. Visible behind, caudate like a dinghy, or you on water skis. This boat eventually leads home. Every lightning bolt shall show it, immovable amid the flux, assured above the tide, throughout the forest, evergreen.
All right. And you're in a forest evergreen yourself this evening, are you?
I am,
not?
as it happens, yes.
In the Cevennes mountain range, which is
Yeah.
it's a little bit people like Appalachia. Small roads, crowded forest, very running freshwater streams. It's beautiful down there.
Yeah.
And yeah. How about Three's a Charm, Jack?
Okay, I don't know how charming this is. It's called Post-Mortem. I used to dream myself everywhere. I once fucked the world. My life doubled as a movie set, a long shot, set on cranes and tracked high overhead. The view over the top, tip of the flame, perspective on fire, and no hand to douse it. Incendiary, incendiary. I was the late 20th incendiary man. Stand by me, because I can't stand myself now.
Ooh, confessional. Oh, confessional. All right. Confessional. That's good, Jack. All right. Thank you.
Okay, I can't see anybody.
Well, we can't see you either, but we trust that is you reading these poems.
Oh, it is. It is definitely I. Yeah.
We trust.
It was very cool.
And just to prove it, you'll have to supply a urine test later. But other than that, you sounded very good. I'm glad you got on. I was mentioning
I can do that. I have an empty glass.
All right. So hang around for second round. And let's see.
I'm sorry I missed the first.
Well, that's all right because you're here in the first.
Okay.
And you'll be here in the second.
Yeah.
Second round. Okay. So I think we're going to close this round with a long poem from Dane. So before we hear that poem, I'm going to read uncharacteristically before the end of the round and leave the finished poem to Dane. So here, I'm going to read you this poem, and I think you'll understand it. And it's called Cameo. I'm reading poems before a crowd. I'm earnest, and they're what? Interested. The pretensions and how do you do's. You walk in late as usual. As you search for a seat, I stumble all over myself. Quick, somebody get the hook. Last night I wrote to you, rehearsed like Cyrano, down 6 cups of coffee, 2 packs of cigarettes, and still couldn't get it. My words were bubbled, well-rounded, curved and gentle, gliding on a whisper of sightless air that grazed your cheeks and burst on your lips. It was alchemy and gone. I almost had it, the perfect love poem. Until it comes, I sleep alone, wake before dawn, wrestling with the words and you. Until it comes, you are on the tip of my tongue. Okay.
Bravo. Bravo, Mo.
Thank you. Okay. And now I'm going to read one that somebody knocked on my door. My next door neighbor is from Venezuela, Milen, and this happened a couple days ago. And it's metaphorical. It's called Picnic. I inquire, you respond from another world. Not true, neighbor. Knock on my door. It's a bell. Come to the beach of chestnut trees beneath picnic. Wolf cub sniffs hair, my balding head, eggshell smooth as polished pearl drops. In eye of beholder, hold it, behold me, freak of the week, and you a foreign affair. Ah, I know what we need, hot sauce and honey. Taste, yeah. Mmm.
Mm.
Okay.
Bravo.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. And now here is another one, and this one's called "The Closest I Come." One finger plucks your little pink nipple, another strums your quivering clit. The long one pressed to your V. My breath comes to a full stop. The closest I come to playing the cello. Sleeping with you awakes me. The way I go, gladly to lose consciousness. Hum, we hum in four-part lips. When last night I composed and got the archangel healer. Mercury asks, how are you? And I don't know how to answer. Hum, autumnal equinox, equally divided, equally united, like when you pass the day through my night and I play for harmony, so near, near, nearly complete, the closest I come to you. Okay, thank you.
Bravo.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah, it's nice to get the feedback on these. I asked Belen to come over. You know, she lives next door to me on the same floor, and I asked her if she would come and read some poetry from Venezuela, and she felt too shy to do it. But we'll see in the future if she will come by and do so for us. Okay, so now we are going to end this round with a pre-agreement that we shall hear a long poem, one poem from Dane in this round, and let's sit back and listen to the long stroke.
Thank you. This is called the Embarcadero. The Embarcadero is a big wide boulevard on the eastern side of San Francisco between the dry part and the wet part of the bay, and it was built to run railroad cars down and to do shipping and all that stuff when San Francisco had an active port. The Embarcadero is Spanish for the place to embark. The Embarcadero, clear, blue, calm, warm summer, first time. High dive opens at 11:30 for patio seating, waiting, thinking, I'm hungry, I want to eat now. I walk down the Embarcadero, heading north, seeing all the people in their masks. This is Ghost. I'm haunting. I'm haunting now for you because you can't. Heading to Pier 23, seeing the ferry building, recall how you never like to eat outside when eating out. Can't do otherwise in many places now. I see Klaus Oldenburg's giant arrow stabbing the earth. Gray Bay Bridge against fluffy kayakers and speedboats and seagulls on green jello bay. It's beautiful sailboat. Beautiful missing. Breakfast is my favorite meal of the day. Single seagull, lonely floats, I sob and sob. Walking behind my disguise, COVID mask and sunglass, no one gets wise. High tide is coming in or soon. I see people fishing with their rods. Skateboarder rolls by. People with sticks prepare for some class. Woman walks by, exercising, sweat, shiny knit top and tits. Dogs on grass, picnic baskets, picnic blankets spread out, people in twos and threes, and then Just me. I give $5 to the street musician sax player. There's a building boom going on, Manhattanization. They used to fight it, but that collapsed. Entropy, wins, steel, glass, victory for the cash. Too late, too late. The remnants of piers poke up just above water, not yet fallen into the bay. If you leave it, the seawall will tumble too, the way the bay loves it. Line of geese, line of geese, line of geese, fly east to west. Life, Embarcadero, alive. Dads and daughters on bikes, jogging with dogs, small bikes with training wheels, faded sign on brick building, YMCA, rooms, bikes and bikes and bikes, jogging and bikes. I pass the farmer's market, buy avocados, give a fin to a white-haired, bearded man in a wheelchair. Shirtless man rolls by, singing, boom box booming loud from inside granny-style grocery shopping cart. Honey, I am dying for your love. Zoom of motorboats zooming, prop planes propelling, banner ads above, the song of seagulls, chorus of motorcycles, Embarcadero living. I arrive at Pier 23. They open for lunch at noon. That's in 20. I'm waiting and thinking. I get to do this for the first time. One of the many things I get to do for the first time. I get to sit outside, something you hated. You didn't want the interference of street noise, street smells, the breeze, the hot, the cold, the blustery weather chilling you, and you had not the right clothes ever, weather no matter. You wanted no interference with the zen of your 2 vodka martinis shaken with a twist. I liked that negotiation. It gave me purpose. Now I don't have to do that anymore. I just gulp and go do. A little sweat rolls down the back of my neck. Big yellow umbrella at the front door of Pier 23. A woman in a white fedora, white straw fedora, sleeveless black top, maroon Pier 1 import simple skirt with 3 rows of tacking, invites me through mask and sunglasses to come shade sharing while we wait. We talk about her hat. The hostess mistakes us for a couple. I missed breakfast. Lunch it is then. I sat in a partial shade under a lime tree in a terracotta pot from Mexico. So far, so good. I'm filled with questions and looking about what's this, what's that, what's the name of the checkered pattern on the plastic tablecloth blue. See the duet of 2 tops with red chairs next to the rail. I think I'll pull this first time off without incident. Buddha and some unknown to me deity, decorative guard gnomes, silent, stand guarding at the base of the tree pot. I thought they'd be joining for lunch, fish and chips, malt vinegar, and a shot of Zircaru mezcal. Shots for them, I guess not. There was controversy as to exactly who Buddha's guard mate is. Some said Shiva, some said Kuan Yin, and others still Krishna. Watch a bee visit the flowers in the tree pot. My waitress has black and teal hair that is fading to green. A sea lion pops up from the beige yellow below. The woman in the white fedora sits next to the right whale. She reminds me of you. She has 2 drinks, crantinis on the rocks, and she boxed up her shrimp salad to take it to go, just like you used to do. The thought fleeted to leave a card in case sometimes she might like company for a meal. She might like to do something other than eat alone, but I just sat there, feeling the air. Finished my mezcal, my morning, the lump forming. The shot hit me with a slight, stumbly, staggering starting. As I left, just afternoon sunlight seemed oddly blinding, wisteria now filling the breeze. The goddess seemed to have disappeared, and Buddha was now magically animated, alive, dancing and laughing and shouting. Everything starting comes to an end. The ending is the place to begin. I feel someone's warm embrace hugging me forward, forcing me out of the place, onto a rainbow path, to a rainbow bridge over the traffic below. Now the mystery is revealed. It's Kuan Yin leading me onto the west side of the Embarcadero in the shade. Onward, Napanthe home I travel. I cross Green Street south, going against the light. To a fellow scofflaw, I joke, oh my, we are criminals breaking the law. He half laughs with his unmasked face. Free and fair elections for Belarus, protest in full blare. cars honking, shouting. It's a riot of all life all around me. Passing the Boulevard restaurant, one of the places we thought of going but never did. Long on the list of things we didn't and now never will. I get a little giggle knowing the place only stands today because the owner bought off the firefighters in 1906 with booze. So they didn't dynamite it to save the city from fire. Alone, back home, I'm done crying today. The Embarcadero is alive, and so am I, because tomorrow is beginning anew. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, there's the diary of a day. All right.
Thank you.
That was awesome.
Just the details of the Pier 1 skirt, the cloth, every little detail. That was some writing. That was really some writing and a great story, well told. I enjoyed it.
Thank you, Vicki.
Okay. And wow. And thank you, Dane. That was nice. That was very nice. So, folks, now we've heard from everybody in the first round. So let's take a few minutes break here and chat or comment among ourselves. And we'll come back for a second round in a few minutes. And I'm going to get a banana.
That's really cool, Dane. I liked it.
I did too. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was sick, man. I loved it.
And your reading was really good, really very clear. It sounded great.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for indulging me and letting me have the time to, to do it, because I know it's kind of long, and so.
Get my interest for the entire 9 minutes or however long it was. So that's,
Hey, if it's good, then long and short don't matter.
Yeah, I mean,
it really just flowed right by.
After reading Leaves of Grass, nothing seems to be too long.
Okay. Yeah.
Good.
I didn't know what it was going to be or how it was going to go, but I started someplace and I wanted to get back to the same place, and so that's just what it was.
Mm. Well, I share your experience with the woman who didn't want her zen interrupted while she had her 2 drinks, because back in the day I had a girlfriend, and she also kept a place in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she kept a place in San Francisco, and here's what she would do in Paris or San Francisco, or when we would go to her hometown in Sevilla in Spain, she would complain about noise and people. She would complain that it was too loud. Noise is too loud here. And I'd say, Isabel, you live in Paris, you go to San Francisco, and you go home to Sevilla, and you don't like noise? Why in the hell did you move to central Paris, O'Farrell Street, right above the Tenderloin in San Francisco? In Sevilla, where the Spanish are rightly loud and jovial, and she didn't like noise. Man, that used to burn my beans. I kind of knew then that there was a clock ticking away on the shelf life of our love.
So is Sevilla nice? I've never been there.
It's wonderful. It is. And it's an old city with a lot of old architecture and a lot of history, as much of Europe has. And it is essentially the performance capital, for flamenco. See, the Gitanos who do flamenco are based mostly in the south of Spain, Alicante, and places like that. But their performance capital is Sevilla.
Okay.
So I love flamenco. Ranks with me as my favorite music, period. For me, it rivals jazz because it's got that duende, that spirit to it. Yeah. And when they get to dancing and everything, So anyway, that's all. I relate to you, Dane, with my former girlfriend Isabel. Always come. We can't go here. There's too much noise.
Yeah.
Well, let's move to Des Moines, baby.
No, then they're
Outskirts of Omaha.
Just take her up to the mountains or something, someplace that's quiet.
Yeah. So that's how that worked. We are happily broke up.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You know, I was surprised, people. Try that again. Benedicta, we were
How
telling.
come you happily broke up?
Because I like. I'm a writer, as you know, and a jazz singer. Okay, but as a writer, I spend a lot of time alone in quiet. I know about it, and I take long, aimless walks late at night after dark, when people think I'm in the midst of my muse, and it's really, I ain't got a clue in the world. I'm just out walking. But how come? Because I like the noise of people in public, and so it reflected on other differences we had. That's why.
All right. Okay.
Because the other thing
That's
is,
fine.
I would say, Isabel, let me take you to the concert. She would come to my jazz gigs, okay, but I'd say, let me take you to the concert. Some people are playing, David Murray's playing tonight. Archie Shepp is playing tonight. Russell Sadiq. No, it's too loud. It's too loud. See, and if you can follow where I'm getting with this, when it's too loud to hear jazz greats, then I say that, the clock is ticking away toward the demise of this relationship.
Mo, it's important if people are going to have a relationship, they have to turn towards each other, they have to face each other. And yeah, that's too bad, but if you're with someone and you can't turn towards them and they can't turn towards you, it's just, there's nowhere to go. It's just, that's just the way it is,
And in my case, and I think other people know this too, I've had a history of attracting women who are very different in lifestyle and personality. They're quiet and more reserved, and that's cool. We complement one another. But in other cases, I have been in relationships with women who want an artist to be in their life because they do anything but artistic or creative lifestyle. And then once they have someone like me in their life, then they want to say, stay home. Be your artist self at home. I'm serious. Be your artist. Just do your dance for me alone.
Yeah. It's the idea.
Intrigue me once in a while with your personality, but let's keep it indoors and quiet. And when you explain, hey, I feed on the outside world, there's where the conflict comes.
That's where it is, yeah. That's where you have to live, You have to live to make this art.
Yeah. But there are people like that. There are men who have trophy wives. There are women who have rich trophy husbands. And there are individuals who want an artist in their life to intrigue them, but not so much as they share in the actual socially artistic lifestyle. And that happens. Yeah. But anyway. Yeah. So what else? Anybody else want to chime in on their own thoughts about anything?
The discussion is about women?
Huh?
The discussion is about women?
It's about whatever you feel like discussing, actually. I was just giving my reaction to Dane's poem, a particular part of it. Yeah. So, Mo, are you still in there?
I am, sir.
Okay, good. Yeah, I know it's.
And it's getting hella noisy down here. I gotta say that was one heck of a story, man.
Which story? Which story?
With your girlfriend, you know,
Isabel.
Yeah, Isabel. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it got me thinking how, you know, people aren't always what they seem, you know. Or like you'd think that you just because they're somewhere, or you know, they live somewhere.
I'm jealous already.
I'm sorry?
Well, go ahead, Mo.
No, I was just saying, you'd think if they've been somewhere, live somewhere, you'd think that they carry a particular vibe, but you know, it's not always the case. And my personal relationship was with someone who first gave me the impression that she was rather talkative and insightful and whatnot, and then you know, a couple of months later, I would find out that she was a very quiet person, to the point where if I had upset her, I would have to do some detective work to find out that she's upset. So, and of course, I'm like, yeah, this is a time bomb. I can't, you know, and you know, I tried to endure that for a year and a half. The relationship endured for a year and a half. But a lot of guys would say, man, that's the best girl. That's the perfect girl you got there. I'm like, no, someone that doesn't complain, and I have to make all the detective work that'd drive me crazy. So yeah, that's my relationship story. And
well, you know, they did those studies on the couples that break up and stay together, you know, and evidently the couples that stay together, they're just good at airing their grievances and getting it out there and talking about it, rather than just kind of hiding it and putting up to it until it explodes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or they could discover their grievances and realize, as I did, much to my disappointment, that I couldn't be a house pet.
Oh, there's that too.
Yeah. That's one way of
right? Couldn't be a house pet. So, what about other people? Everybody else having smooth, uninterrupted, flawless romance in their life?
Too hard. It's too difficult. Too difficult to have a relationship.
Need to meet a bass player.
Compliqué.
Well, too difficult for many, achievable for some. How about that?
Sure. Yeah.
Seems like people, you know, everything changes. It's not the same. You're not the same person from one heartbeat to the next. You're constantly changing. Everything's constantly changing. But somehow or another, we have been given ideas about chasing bliss or having peace of mind, or these things that try to make everything smoothed out and be the same from beginning to end. And it's just not how life is. And so people get unhappy because they're ups and downs, and they want it to be smooth.
I believe in formulas.
In what?
Formulas. The formula.
Oh, the formula. Okay. What's your formula, Dalila?
I'm looking for a formula because
I would say, back at Dane, I would say that it's a conscious effort on your path to grow together. And if you don't grow together, you're done.
Yeah.
So, but it's a consciousness that you do that.
Yeah.
I say that the formula would be to go back to what first attracted you to the person.
We can't hear you.
Whatever first attracted you to the person, when all else fails, go back to that.
Okay. Okay.
I think with age you can become less radical. What we are all looking for is just to be together, avoid loneliness, and be generous, be friendly. And this is the basis of my formula. It is a possible way to be together without fighting, without jealousy, without violence.
Yeah.
Mm.
I would recall then an experience I had many years ago. I got on the date. What is it called? The date line. You know, when you look for a date, you know, you give your profile and all that. And yeah, I did that. I said, I got to try this. You know, lady be some luck
People
tonight.
are trying it.
Yeah, so I tried it. I said, I got to try this. So somebody, what is it? I don't know. They talked to me on this website, whatever, you've got an answer. And I went, oh, goody, goody gumdrops. and it went like this, and it did. I'm looking for a man that I can spend quiet weekend nights before the fire with a nice glass of red wine, and later a jaunty walk down the green paths of the park before we quietly come home and sleep through the night. What do you think I need from you? And I said,
A German Shepherd.
and I said, lady, get a dog.
I knew you did. I knew that. I knew that's what he said. A German Shepherd.
Right. Get a dog. No, I never heard from her again.
I wonder why.
She probably got the dog.
I don't know if the poet that did the poem the other day, I think one day they did a poem, he said he swiped right, and he told all about what the person used to be and how the person used to look, all the things that they used to do. That was funny. You know, you go on these sites and tell everybody about what the person you used to be instead of the person you are now.
Yeah.
You swipe right.
And
that was funny.
And I think a present difficulty for people that reach middle age and older, like me, is that now I tend to think that because I'm an artist, I'm still growing and I'm mutable and flexible. I tend to think that about myself. Correct or exaggerated, that's what I tend to think about myself, because I have so much confusion that it's a mask for growth. I don't know what the hell this is about. I better learn something here. So I like that. But what I have found is that a lot of people, and in my case, it's been women, who once they get to a certain age, and I call that middle age, it's like you, Vicky, I think you said it earlier, been there, done that, don't do it anymore. And that is the kiss of death. Like, you want to go dance? Don't do that anymore. Want a bicycle? Don't do that anymore. Want to go out all night long for white night, from dark till dawn? Don't do that anymore. Oh, man, let's turn the music up. Don't do that anymore. Next thing you know, don't do that very much anymore. And,
So this is the difficulty, in fact. It's when people are, instead of remaining open to others, are so much closing everything how can we have relationships? It's impossible. Impossible, impossible.
Well, you see,
Parce que, à mon avis, je pense.
Tell us in English, Dalila, because we'll understand better.
I'm speaking about my personal experience, is that there is fear in men are frightened by an interesting relationship, a building relationship of equality, like respect and generosity, and really taking care of the other without measuring. I don't want to measure myself to the other. I'm happy with myself. I'm contented, and I want to be happy. I think we should speak this language instead of defining ourselves as moi je veux ci, moi je veux ça, moi je veux ça. Je ne veux pas être dérangé. So if you don't want to be disturbed, it means you don't want to give anything. If you don't give, there's nothing.
Wouldn't argue about that. Wouldn't argue about that. Yeah. I'm always puzzled by if in my case again, I'll just be in my case, if a woman has been through highs and lows, and certainly enough lows, like all people experience, and has decided no more of this stuff, I'm not, I've been burned more than enough on that, and they don't want to get into something, then I'm always like puzzled by, then why were you flirting with me? Because I'm an open book. You can tell I'm an open book with loose ends. All right. So I'm out and about. So I say to myself, why are you flirting with me? Is this just some kind of voyeuristic, some kind of little fun game to have once a week, once a month, once a year or something for attention? Is that it? A woman told me they're just doing that to get your attention, the ones that don't have a sincere desire to, but they still want to know that they're the object of attention. Yes. And that's what a woman told me.
It is very dangerous to speak in general.
Yes.
Well, some generalizations are right. The French love, I love how Francophones do that. I love how the French do that, like you're doing it. Don't speak generalizations. French like wine? Yes. French like cheese? Yes. French are uncertain about romance? Do not generalize. I don't fall for that no more.
Hey, I had a Spanish teacher who hated bullfights, so there you go.
Okay. Now that we know that love is a very complicated situation, can we go back to the second round, people? Everybody want to start back with the second round? Let's do it. Let's do that second round, Okay. All right. So,
can I go first? Because I'm probably going to crash afterwards.
Who is that?
That is Mo, right here, Mo.
Oh, there he is. There you are, Mo. Please go first. Let's hear from Mo, everybody. You're on, Mo.
Okay. I bleed ink for you. In the same hour that Notre Dame burned, a fire broke out in Al-Aqsa. You can all relax. This is not a poem to promote Grandpa's conspiracy theories. I promise you there will be no more talk about bombs, or the skeletons we put in our conscience, or the blood we drink in our coffee, or the bodies we loot in our bank accounts. I promise I won't talk about Flint, or the ethnic Muslim cleansing in China, I won't talk about Sudan or Gaza or how we've made compassion into a romanticized dream, but I'll bleed ink for you. I should know what it's like to have your I should know what it's like to have your conscience handcuffed to the free market, where the honest voice is sold to the cheapest bid. I plead ink for you, even though it's not the kind that they print, doesn't bring food on the table, feed the kids, or pay for the rent. I bleed ink for you, unsure what I'm hoping for. Maybe you'll get nausea and a throbbing heartache. I mean, what a privilege it must be to carry tragedy in your pocket without getting sick. What a privilege it must be to subject people's worth to the width of your thumb. And I know that you are numb, so I'll bleed ink for you. Sorry for the mess, by the way. It can be hard to channel outrage through the tip of a pen and expect it to make any sense. But what sense do we make when we abandon ourselves, when we benched pain and allowed phantoms to smile in the mirror on our behalf? A month ago, a teacher told me that poets are the gatekeepers that define what is possible with language. I did not write this to call anyone out, rather in the hopes of calling some of you back, to tell you that the mirror is only as kind as the light in the room. I hope you can learn to look at it with love.
That was a good, wasn't that a great segue after our conversation about romance? Great, Mo.
Beautiful.
You came up with, go ahead, Vicky.
I was just telling Mo that was a labor of love, even the way he read it. Like he was kind of worn out at the end.
I can't hear you. Am I?
Yeah, I can't hear you, Vicky. Can you repeat that again?
Can you ask Vicky?
I said the way you read
louder?
it was a, hello? All right.
Yeah, you're on, Vicky.
Can you speak loud and not too fast, please?
I was just telling Mo the way he read it was a labor of love within itself.
She was calling the poem was a labor of love. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number two, Mo. Number two.
Number two will be a poem that is not by me. I have read this before, but I'll read it again because it's just an absolute favorite. One moment, please. Just 1 second. Sorry. Oh crap, I closed it. 1 second. Just give me 3 seconds, please. Yeah, this place. Okay, let's go to another poem and then I'll come back, if that's okay. So I don't keep you guys on hold for too long.
Okay.
Okay. So
that works.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, you want to go to another? Okay, I got you. Okay, can we now hear from Jane? Hello, Jane.
So, second round. I'm ready. All right, so this is a piece that my bass player and I spend a lot of time in the car on the road, going to gig. And so wherever we go, I like to turn on the radio to see what's happening in that space that we're going to be in. So I wrote this in the car on the way to a gig. It's called Jimmy, and it's for Hendrix. You know that Jimmy put a smile on your face. Fly on, fly on, fly on to that very special place and make love. Make love. Make love and don't you be late. But you are late. Living on the hesitate, can't get it done, though you try. And you try. You closed your third eye, blinded by no light, fearing your God's might. You wrapped it up right, you zipped it up tight. Oh, walk on, Mr. Businessman, with the army of your choice. fearing your inner voice, hung up on your vision of a white picket fence, you gave away your freedoms to some black robes on a bench, tightening restraints with a legal wrench, all wrapped up in political stench. Oh, there ain't no life nowhere. So speak your mind and fill your children's time with love and imagination. Fuck their scheduled play dates. Curious minds do not wait and they grow up without you. But you know, you're never too old to change your soul. Mend the mind that binds. It's freedom time. So don't you be late because you know that Jimmy, he'll always put a smile on your face. That's for Hendrix.
Grow up or be left behind. Got you on that.
Oh, this is it.
Okay, a second poem, please, Jane.
Bravo.
Second poem, Flux. For my teacher, who resides on a moon, busy contemplating contemplations that shape the reality of a dimensional self. Reminders of illusionary tactics of the mind to leave you behind. Dull your shine. Spirit beings summoned by dreams, dancing to songs of celestial bodies, listening to winds whisper silent secrets. Naked minds with no dressing as the dreamer's moon laughs at my back.
All right. Thank you, Jane.
Thank you.
Laying it down. Okay. Okay, how about you, BC, but from, wait a minute. Yeah, EC, I'm sorry, EC Wells, and his computer-generated poetry voice. Are you there, EC?
I am here. I don't have anything prepared for the second round, and I actually have another meeting that I have to switch over to now, but I appreciate that offer.
All right. Well, we were glad to have you, and come on back next week if you wish. All right.
Mo, I'll go ahead and read my second poem before I leave.
Please.
All right. Okay. So again, this poem isn't mine. It's actually belonged to Clint Smith. It's always a favorite. The air is thick with ambivalence. The residue of those both forgotten and pushed away. A watchtower too certain of its own authority. The slow grating of a mechanical door granting one passage in and out of the yard. The dull gray of clothing rendering life invisible against a backdrop of concrete walls. Barbed wire coils itself precariously around the edges of the prison. It can be difficult to tell what they're trying to keep in or what they're trying to keep out. Chain link fences standing upright as soldiers do. Only what they are told. Only what they have convinced themselves that they have been built for. But is anything built for what it ultimately becomes? Stripped of any agency it might have had when the steel was melded into a false deity, a pretense of human control. Did it dream of what else it could have been? The wheels of a child's first bicycle, the monkey bars from which they would swing to and fro, the car a family drives on cross-country road trip filled with laughter and fighting and spilled ketchup across the floor. When did it learn that it was to become a cage? How can a cage become a refugee? A circle of men swallowed by the world's indifference, where the totality of their personhood has been diluted to a single act, that they have become singularly defined.
that they have become singularly defined by the worst thing they've ever done. We don't remember that they are brothers, husbands, fathers, friends. We don't remember that they are people worth remembering, but the writing is a declaration of all that makes them whole. A classroom of men who refuse to forget themselves. Each word provides the sort of liberation a parole board can never grant. So often they write about their family, their children, how they want them to remember them, how they want to remember the father as the man whose laugh would turn a room into a festival of rapture, how he would read them stories before they would fall asleep to a world that didn't always make sense, but always made sense in his arms. It's the sort of thing that reminds them that they had once existed beyond this place, and they still do.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's just to recap, it's an English teacher who was basically teaching a lot of inmates in prison, and he was already surprised by their ability to write poetry. Like, they understood what was onomatopoeia and terminologies that only seasoned poets would understand. So he was inspired to write this piece.
Great. And for those who would like to read, there's a rich body of prisoners' poetry, and one ex-con that I really identified with very much. His name is Etheridge Knight, and he wrote from the joint, and then when he was finally released from the joint, his books got celebrated. Etheridge Knight, K-N-I-G-H-T.
Etheridge?
Etheridge. This is E-T-H-R-I-D-G-E.
Etheridge Knight. Yeah, he wrote from prison.
Got it.
You know, Jimmy Santiago Baca, I know, is another poet who was in prison, who's also very good.
Yeah, there's a rich body of prison poetry, for sure. And it gets richer because the United States has incarcerated more people per capita than any nation in the world.
Yeah.
So,
and then free.
So, okay. So since you were speaking up, John, can we hear from you?
Okay, sure can. Let me turn the camera on here. Here we go.
I'm gonna bid you guys good night, but I'm gonna leave the Zoom open. So, oops, sorry about that, Mo. I'll bring it back.
One love, Mo.
Okay. So you guys know the 5 words that make a poet's blood run cold?
Okay, 1 second. We always like to say thank you, Mo, and good night,
Thank you, Mo.
everybody. Thank you, Mo.
Thank you, Mo.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, my turn now. You know the 5 words that make a poet's blood run cold? I wrote this poem today, so here you go. It's called Lost Summer. White walls, beige carpet, popcorn ceiling, 3 bookshelves, unused Quebec and Nova Scotia guidebooks, wooden sword, window AC unit with blinking change filter light, indigo love seat, IKEA coffee table, Kleenex, Kindle, tea mug, fountain pen, 7 plastic storage boxes, exercycle, red and gold poster for my feature at the Kerouac Cafe, chicken stock, canned tomatoes, 5 pounds of brown rice, cherry mead fermenting in a gallon jug, stand mixer, toaster oven, busted microwave, stove with 2 broken burners. I won't report to the maintenance staff, so proud in their refusal to wear face masks, 6 pairs of shoes, disinfectant wipes by the door, locked to keep the virus out, 2 file cabinets, last paycheck, first social security check, full-size latex mattress, meditation bench, Thich Nhat Hanh calendar, desk, 2 office chairs, laptop for Netflix and Zoom meetings, white walls, beige carpet, popcorn ceiling, unused guidebooks, white walls, beige carpet, popcorn ceiling, white walls, beige carpet, popcorn ceiling.
All right. All right. Can you give us a second one now, please?
I can.
We asked for 2 poems in the second round, you see.
And that's what I'm prepared to give you. This next one is called The Plains of Abraham. And as you probably know, this is in Quebec City, and it's the battlefield where the British defeated the French to take over Canada. With macaron, duck confit, and maple syrup at stake, I reenact General Wolfe's conquest of French Canada. Backed by divisions of tourist dollars and a robust exchange rate, my Anglais marches north toward the Francais fortress atop a 5-meter cliff. But Anglais doesn't know what a meter is. A fusillade of unintelligible vocabulary repels my attempted landing at Tim Hortons. Grilled cheese and $2 coin in hand, I flee to my voiture, abandoning my latte in a panicked retreat. My Anglais gains a foothold in a hotel behind makeshift defenses of cable TVs, streaming CDC news, and old reruns of Murder, She Wrote. My ego prefers the blood-soaked glove of genocide to the shame of standing carp-mouthed at some incomprehensible phrase. Scouts report parapets of unpronounced consonants, howitzers of passé composé, mortars of gendered nouns, muskets of strange accent marks, and field guns of adjectives following nouns. I know what I must do. In dress uniform, I march to the nearest patisserie and, stammering my first halting words in a foreign language, lay down my sword.
That in peace? Is that in peace? Yeah, that was awesome.
Okay. Since you've been speaking, Vicky, are you ready to give us 2 poems?
Yes, I was just wondering, was at the end of this piece? That's what I was asking. Yeah, I have 2 poems ready.
Okay, we're listening.
Is my audio any better?
Sounds better to me.
Okay. Well, this one is I pulled up because I know there's some jazz musicians in here, and if you're a jazz musician, you probably like blues. This is my attempt to write a blues song, but I'm only going to read the words. And the name of it is called Retribution Is Not My Dog. And you got to imagine some blues chords going to it. Dun, 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 dun. Retribution is not my dog. No bone of contrition. Just another child who does not listen nor pay attention. Karma, 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 please let him slide. I ain't really mad. Life has beat him down enough. Please, karma, let him slide. Karma, excuse my soft heart. Retribution ain't always worth the worry that it causes. Forgive my spiteful child. May a mother's mind intercede, spare them the painful warts. I love them enough to ask this of you. When they hurt, I hurt too. There is no win-win situation. Retribution ain't my dog. Just more reaping of the whirlwind. Let that negativity that they have set in motion be tossed into the mighty sea. Let the salt of forgiveness wash and toss away their lies and thievery, because retribution ain't my dog. Karma, karma, please, on my knees I pray, forgive them all. Children, lovers, spare all who have trespassed against my good kind deeds, because I love them anyway. And retribution ain't my dog. In peace.
All right. That was good. That was blues. Do you have a second one for us?
Okay, I'll do my older one called 5 Tomatoes Away.
Your
And
call.
It's kind of like I think it's an old Italian song that used to go. You'll pick up on it when I start the poem. 5 tomatoes away. I'm 5 tomatoes away from devastation. The bullies bully me. They give big breaks to corporations while taking unfair shares from citizens and cutting down on pensions and Social Security. I have no security. The store on the corner is selling wine, beer, and cigarettes, sending their tax-free money home to fight against our boys. Their taxes are deferred, and when time comes to pay, the business is now switched into his cousin's name. 1 tomato is $2, so I'm 5 tomatoes away. I haven't had a salad today. I am being raped while they are getting breaks. I get reprimanded severely. They are always shaking my tree. I said I have no money. I'm not living here tax-free. The levy goes into effect on the 13th day, so I budget sparingly. I have had no salad today. And I'm 5 tomatoes away from homelessness and devastation. I wish I had a break like the big corporations. One day before I leave this planet, I hope to find dignity and eat a salad every day and live life healthily. Never again having to worry about being 5 tomatoes away. Getting old around here is horrible. My senior year is unpleasant. I've paid my dues to the IRS. Now they want another present. I hope to survive another day while they tax my pension. And so I pray, let me eat another salad in spite of being 5 tomatoes away. So yes, I've had no tomatoes. I've had no tomatoes today. In peace.
Okay. Well, whoop, there we go. Okay, well, thank you for that rendition. And the song that you were mimicking a bit there is Yes, We Have No Bananas.
Right.
That
I
was the
thought you
song.
would get it.
Yes, we have no bananas. The Italians used to sing that a lot in my neighborhood. It was even a joke. Yes, we have no bananas, okay?
Right.
I remember that. The old guys used to say that a lot. You used to understand what it really meant. Like,
Yes.
yeah. Okay, great. So Dalila, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Do you have 2 poems for us by any chance?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Alors, there's one poem I call, it's a very short one, I call Moments, Moment.
Moment, okay.
Time. Moment précieux de paix, sommeil réparateur, travail intellectuel au repos, incessante restructuration, grandir, mûrir, un mouvement continu de va-et-vient du passé au présent et au futur, accessible à tous. Amour, tendresse, douceur, adjuvant à la construction d'un projet.
Okay.
I wanted to try to speak about thinking. It's a poem which deals with what do we do sometimes with our brain. The other one is called Amour toujours. Pourquoi existes-tu, amour? Pourquoi es-tu si tendre, si merveilleux, si dévastateur? Où es-tu, toi qui fus si vrai, si proche, dans ma tête apaisée par tes mots, dans mon cœur tam-tam de toi, dans mes mains te serrant fort, baiser, folie, douceur de vivre, mon cœur déchiré hurle le mal, la colère de ton absence. Mon corps recroquevillé de douleur se tend toujours et toujours. Épuisé par les exigences de mes rêves, désir fou, démesuré, impossible. Serais-je capable de continuer la route, si floue, devant mes yeux troubles? Mémoire incertaine, lointaine, espace amour si prometteur, meilleur lendemain, peur de demain.
Okay. Am I on? Yes, I think. Well, thank you. And I understand your feelings about romance that you spoke in the discussion, reinforced by the language of your poem. So thank you, Dalila. Thank you. Okay, Benedicta, are you there, Benedicta? Benedicta.
Elle a quitté, je pense.
Well, if she zooms back in, she has a place. How about you, Dane? Can you give us 2 poems?
Well, yeah, sure. But, you know, I thought my one long would count for 2, but I certainly could.
Well, because it was not as long as you described it, not at all. How about giving us 2 poems now, please?
Okay. All right. Chestnut Street. When I first came back to San Francisco, dumbly searching for love out to the bars along Chestnut Street, a boutique street near the marina, I would get drunk. Grateful now my plan failed spectacularly. Oh man, really twisted, hateful then in desperation was me. Who wouldn't be hot for that, want that, dig that, have to have that? An even worse loser, grateful. The bar would close, I would stumble to Mel's or Johnny Rockets, sit in a zoo stew with the rest of the drunks. I would feast on chili cheese fries, sating the blur, nothing better for that. In LA, I went to a place called Fat Burger. Their fires were fries like planks of wooden ship wrecked in pieces floating in lava of chili cheese, hilltops sprinkled in white onion snow. So yeah, I dig chili cheese and potatoes. I had some for breakfast the other day, maybe when you were doing so too. Number 2.
Okay.
Number 2. Good garden. Before the flood on the river Styx burned everything to the ground when I was sleeping on a bed of fresh hay, before the day dark was bright as noon black, I never noticed. All the same, the before, the after, the beginning, the end, no line between, sleeping, waking, painless, joyless, for lack of appreciation of the dark side of the rainbow where I find myself lost. I see you shining out of my temporary cottage window beyond distant mountain, forest, pines. Whistle, sing me out to play out of my dark house, painted pane between ultraviolet and infrared, tip-top dance on stars. This is a good garden, grown by you. I can live here a while, knowing what I know now, peace, you warm on my face, sunshine, wisdom, bodhisattva, Bodhi Sunshine. Thank you.
Very Bodhi good.
Bodhi Bodhi.
Do you know the song Wine Bodhi Odie? Right? It's a real song. Wine Bodhi Odie. Okay. How about a second one there, Dane?
That was two.
Oh, okay. Well, I told you I have limited capacity
No, they
storage
just
space.
kind of flowed together. I let them flow, but they were two different ones.
Yeah, they were. It's me. You know, I have limited storage capacity. I admit it. Okay. Claire, can we hear from you, Claire? Andriani.
I
Claire.
can. Yes, you can. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Great. So recently, I tried fake nails on my hands, and it was a terrible experience for me because I wanted to try them, but just the day after I got rid of them, and it really made me feel how important it is to feel the world with your hands. So I wrote this. It's called Couldn't or Nail Trauma. Okay. I couldn't feel anything anymore. It's like my brain was directly linked to my hand, like there was no separation. I couldn't feel the sky, couldn't hear the words in the back of my mind. I couldn't hear the seagulls with the same intensity and felt completely stupid. I couldn't hear the world the way I used to, in such an intense way as when it was in the palm of my hand, and when I opened it, an opera would come out or a symphony. All the weight of my brain seemed to have transferred to the tip of my fingers, carrying the terrible weight of nothingness. I couldn't write a word, couldn't touch the earth. I was imprisoned, enslaved. That's what they do to women. That's what some women inflict on themselves. They give away their brains for red fingernails. Fake plastic prostheses that make you feel handicapped, unable, brainless, and all of that for 20 euros. What a cheap operation to lose one's ability, one's inner strength, to lose one's brains and exchange them for fingernails. I was on the verge of falling into depression on the second day. I will never do that again.
Hey, and I believe you. All right. But
Yeah.
it's just so obvious to say it's better to hear and see who you are as who you are than all dressed up in fakery. So thank you. Well received. Yeah. Okay,
Great.
so do you have a second one, Claire?
I have a second one, a bit more positive. I mean, actually very positive, and it's called The Good Life. The good life. We make love, so what? We take hands everywhere we go, especially in the metro when we're about to leave each other. The Chinese food has been on the table for 4 days now. No one noticed it. We were too busy making love. And so what? Biting each other's arms and listening to Miles Davis again and again and again. He just shaved his beard because I asked him to, and he looks completely different, but I don't care because my baby just cares for me. Wait, there's someone knocking at my door, and I think it's my neighbor who's getting upset. I have to look because obviously it doesn't stop. I'm
Wow.
sorry. Yeah.
No, don't be sorry. It's not you.
Okay.
Not your fault. And if you resolve that, Claire, come back and restate that poem.
I mean, biting arms and listening to Miles, it's like a little bit of paradise right there.
I thought it was part of the poem.
All right, I want to. While Claire negotiates the méchant voisine, the nasty neighbor, I would
Maybe
like
she
to.
can ask him to come to participate
Okay.
to the show.
Oh, she's back?
Yeah, it's resolved.
Okay. Come on back, Claire. We're glad you're back.
That's so embarrassing. Okay. So where was I?
Maybe you should start that poem from the beginning.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, if I find it. Where is it now? Now I lost it, of course. Great. Here. Okay. doesn't want to open. Oh no. Because of that neighbor, I'm not going to be able. Oh, it's here.
Oops.
The good life. We make love, so what? We take hands everywhere we go, especially in the metro when we're about to leave each other. The Chinese food has been on the table for 4 days now. No one noticed it. We were too busy making love. And so what? Biting each other's arms and listening to Miles Davis again and again and again. He just shaved his beard because I asked him to, and he looks completely different, but I don't care because my baby just cares for me and I just care for him. With or without mustache. I can feel his soft lips better that way, caressing my cheeks. His perfume mixes with mine perfectly, like in a good duet. He plays the trumpet, I play the cello. Drank all the champagne, ate all the food. The more we make love, the less we eat, listening to Davis' favorite things. I'm a capricious child. We live the good life. He smokes a cigarette, resting his elbow on my back. We look at the night sky through the open window, a breeze. We look at each other as though there was no tomorrow. He's devouring me with words, with strokes, with kisses. We reach the highest note and it goes on, doesn't end. And I rest against his chest forever.
All right. Whoa, somebody's a lucky guy. And it's not just Miles Davis.
Wow.
Bravo.
Wow. Wow.
Claire.
Okay. Wow, Claire.
Writing.
Yeah, that's so cool. Now I'm going to call one more time if Benedicta is still with us. Then, okay. Then I would like to invite Caroline. Hello, Caroline Adler. I'd like to
Hello,
invite you.
Mo.
Yeah, you're on, Caroline.
Yes,
Please.
the line has been.
Huh?
Mhm. I thought I heard Benedicta's voice and then nothing.
Right.
We lost her.
She
She's
does
not.
have signal disruption where she lives. And that's why we are patient with her and call on her. So why don't you present your two pieces for us?
Well, it would be. You told me last, I don't know which week, that there was a problem with Margaret Atwood in United States. So I watched why this week, and I think it's a big mistake to stop reading her. So I found two beautiful poems from her. The first one you already heard it in French. I read it once at Culture Rapide. It's about nature and environment. So let's begin with this one. And I don't have to explain because it's in English. Spring in the igloo. The sun had been burning for a long time before we saw it, and we saw it only then because it seared itself through the roof. We who thought we were living in the center of the vast night and therefore spent our time hoarding our own heat, were astonished by the light. I made this house once because I wanted the coldest season, where you could be, if only by comparison, a substitute for sun. But the earth turns for its own reasons, ignoring mine, and these human miscalculations, and so we are drifting into a tepid ocean on a shrinking piece of winter. For two so frozen this long in glacial innocence, to swim will be implausible. With ice the only thing between us and disaster.
Ah, nice. Now, I believe what you were saying is that because some group of new wave feminists didn't like Margaret Atwood's not agreeing that, what was it? That, yeah, she came out with something about let's not rush to celebrate young girls and young boys going transgender before they've had enough time to
No,
see
it's not
the-
her. It's not Margaret Atwood. That it was
What was it
the
about
woman
Margaret
who.
Atwood?
It
J.K.
was
Row-
the woman who
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter
Yeah,
J.K.
J.K.
Rowling.
Rowling. That
with
was
the
it. Yeah.
transgender
And the
problem.
trans and the
So-
female bathrooms and stuff and all that thing. Yeah.
So what was it about Margaret Atwood again that they wanted to cancel culture?
Margaret Atwood, she was well, she was upset because everyone was fighting against a professor in a university, I don't know where, and the professor was accused to be, it's a Me Too story, and the university forced the professor to firm something about not talking about the story, and she took position for the right to be judged legally, publicly, and to let people judge it, and not force people to quit his
Right.
job just
get it.
because someone accused him
Okay.
of
So
something.
she wanted to put it out there beyond cancel culture
She
police.
wanted to just to protect justice, and people
Okay.
were fighting
Well,
her for that.
in principle, that's good because the cancel culture folks are just over the fucking top.
Yeah.
Innocent until proven guilty. What a concept.
Yeah. So, anyway, you want to do a second one, Caroline?
Yes, and it's another one from Atwood. I didn't knew before today, and I found it. I think it's a nice poem, not very positive and romantic, but maybe a little bit romantic.
Has
His
not
name.
been very much romantic. He has been a fighter in the first struggles of feminism. And she wrote one terrible book called The Handmaid's Tale, which is terrifying. And
Yeah.
they made a series of it.
The Handmaid's Tale. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Caroline. you have
So
a second one.
the poem is named Eurydice. He's here, come down to look for you. It is the song that calls you back, a song of joy and suffering equally, a promise that things will be different up there than they were last time. You would rather have gone on feeling nothing, emptiness and silence, the stagnant peace of the deepest sea, which is easier than the noise and flash of the surface. You are used to these blanched, dim corridors. You are used to the king who passes you without speaking. The other one is different, and you almost remember him. You almost remember him. He says he is singing to you because he loves you. Not as you are now, so chilled and minimal, moving and still both like a white curtain blowing in the draught from a half-open window beside a chair on which nobody sits. He wants you to be what he calls real. He wants you to stop light. He wants to feel himself thickening like a drunk or like a tree trunk or a haunch and see blood on his and on his eyelids when he closes them and the sun beating. This love of his is not something he can do if you aren't there, but what you knew suddenly as you left your body, cooling and whitening on the lawn, was that you love him anywhere, even in his land of no memory, even in this domain of hunger. You hold love in your hand, a red seed you had forgotten you were holding. He has come almost too far. He cannot believe without seeing, and in stark here. Go back, you whisper. But he wants to be fed again by you. Oh, handful of gauze, little bandage, handful of cold air. It is not through him you will get your freedom.
All right. Wow, that is delightful. Passionate and real. All right. She didn't get lost in Sleeping Beauty land. That was very nice. Thank you for reading that. I have never heard that poem before. So I think we are all the better for it. Thank you, Caroline. Appreciate it. Oh, you're so nice. My screen has been changed since Mo moved, so I can just see people, a few, people in little blocks. Who is left who has not read in this round?
Benedicta?
I haven't read.
Jack.
Okay, that sounds like Jack Cooper.
It
Jack.
is Jack Cooper.
All right.
I'm having bandwidth issues. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I have one longish piece.
All right.
Not the
I think my signal has been that bad.
Okay.
Benedicta hasn't said hers yet.
Okay, well, Benedicta, you need to wait a minute here because we just called Jack on to read, please. And then you can follow Jack.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's fine.
Okay, so
You're
I have
welcome.
one longish or one longer piece and one short one.
Go with it.
Okay, the first is called Love's Obstinance. A state of bliss imperfect, exile masked, bliss imperiled, or captivity disguised, a wayward wanderer's paradise, where one may love and be beloved, laugh and laugh with, naked, so to suffer near to her and not have cried alone. Is this much to ask? After all, it is our lives' inception, our marked inheritance, to have discovered gratitude too late, our wrong to have rebuked grace as it beat the wind wildly, wielding terrible, tempestuous wings to bear us children by writhing things beguiled. We were insensible what height we had been borne along, grieving in our weightlessness, lest gruff talons tear us, fearing error, unconscious of the moment lost, set free forever, scorched by the heart's heat, most the thought above, the thunder's oath we fly, thrown at our love's feet, once mistaken, never to deny.
All right. Okay. Well, never to deny you a second poem, Jack. Come on with it.
You go, Jack.
Okay.
Thank you, Benedicta. This is called
You're welcome.
This is called Expectation. Better to be alone, sitting here waiting, than not expecting her.
Okay. That's some existential shit right there. Thanks. I like that. Okay, Jack, thank you. Now,
Thank
Benedict.
you.
Yeah, Jack. Okay, now, Benedicta, would you like to present two pieces for us? Hello, Benedicta. I'm afraid she might be faded out. In which case? In which case?
Yes, I'm ready with it.
Oh, good.
Hello.
We are listening.
Hello, Benedicta.
Are you with us, Benedicta? Well, Benedicta, I do think I think you're being.
We've lost her.
She just
Yeah.
dropped off.
Yeah. So, okay. So I'm going to dare to read next and be the final poet, unless Benedicta comes back, and she may be the final poet. So, caught me a little bit off guard here, and I'm looking for you. Oh, here it is. Okay. And now, I read this before, but given what we read tonight about partnerships, I pulled this out. Wow, now I'm only getting a black screen. Oh, what the fuck? Okay, so this is dedicated to Benedicta.
I'm back. Is it clear?
Benedicta, I'm going to read my poem first, Benedicta, and then we're going to try you again. Okay, that's what we're going to do. So please mute, darling, until I'm done. Okay, please.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so this poem is dedicated to my one-time mentor, Sidney Miller of Brooklyn, and for his wonderful wife, Sylvia. And they got married in their 20s, Sidney from Brooklyn, Sylvia from the Bronx. And they stayed married until he died. In other words, they stayed married their entire lives together. And so we can talk about it is possible. All right, here we go. This is called She and He. He offered partnership and uncertain futures. She paused and gripped his hand firmly, a pact thus consummated in anticipation. Life, after all, begins with now. To get there, he figured he must cut a wide path. She realized her own needs in narrow spaces, deeper than his. He ebbed a large wave in search of what good men search for, a current bound for a splendid beach, charted clearly on his map of dreams. After so much work spent on work, he declared a dawning of wisdom. She had blessed him long before in the height of all his folly. Virtue, she understood, comes with being. Like his fathers before, he took his leave, lamenting dreamscapes untrod. She, reminding him of the courageous, beautiful Odyssey, and offered her hand as an oar through his final passage. Alone, the half that stays behind, caressing shadows across a chair, a table, the smell of him in the bedroom on a pillow, recalling his touch to her shoulder in the bath. Tending a garden field of memories, she calls for him, singing among the rows, finds him the first tulip of spring. She descends into the soil, craving, she digs deep, deeply inside. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. That was for
The
Sydney.
love that is in marriage.
Sorry?
The love that is in marriage.
Yeah. Okay, so here's one. Here's one. It's called Numbers Game, and maybe this, in my way, sums up some of the things in your way that we've talked about that both release us and plague us over time. And it's called Numbers Game. 1 curious look, 2 eyes in orbit, 3 crooked teeth, 4 sutured scars, 5 fold brow, 6 sins repeated, 7 leagues deep, 8 days late, 9 times dead, 10 hundred laughs, 11 loves gone, 12 o'clock strut, 13 state of mind, 14 light years, 15 unpaid, 16 miles uphill, 17 suns rise, 18 kilos of coffee, 19 stars over Paris, 20 times overdue, 21 gray hairs, 22 stained glass windows, 23 broken promises, 24 lies, 25 deities, 26 million starving, 27 bending rules, 28 penny whistles, 29 fallen idols 30 years ago, 31 primordial screams, 32 degree freeze, 33 tears, 34 mountains to climb, 35 follies, 36 ounces of wet brain, 37,000 cigarettes, 38 cracks in my tongue, 39 women long gone, 40 voice gospel choir, good God, 41 depression Sundays, 42 free protons, 42 full moons, 44 closed doors, 45 angles to follow, 46 rehearsals to do, 47 lost memories, 48 tons of shit, 49 versions corrupted, 50 birthdays, smile and smear upon the mirror. All right.
Well,
I'm glad one of
well
I'm glad one of you liked that poem. Thank you, Dane. All right.
1,
So,
2, 3,
Oh.
4, 5.
okay. Yeah, because I can't see anything with these little, anyway, the way the screen was rearranged. Anyway, now we're going to give you a chance here. Benedicta gave your net signal a chance. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Can you
But
hear me as well?
you're inaudible. It's all echo chamber, Benedicta.
Stand in a different corner. Hold your phone higher. Get lower.
Hi, is it better now?
Yeah.
Is it better
Perfect.
now?
Yes, don't move.
Is it better now?
No.
Whatever you did before, that was good.
Okay.
That's good there.
Okay. Okay. So can I read?
Oh.
A little worse there.
Can I go ahead?
You know what, Benedicta?
So
Benedicta,
I
darling?
read. Horrifying assault. Internet and shouts, as injured as it seems. Sorry? Someone interrupted.
No, you weren't interrupted. It's just a bad signal.
Hello.
Ah.
Okay, so let me start me now. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you, but I don't know about you hearing me from my side.
This is better than that other guy that had computer program voice. You and him must be meeting in Deep Space Nine, girl. I tell you what, you out there, you're so far gone, we can't catch up with you.
Hi.
That's it. I'm gonna cast you on the new Star Trek episode. You and EC. This is great. We should have. You two need to meet each other at the next reading. You are a match made for Deep Space Nine, sister love.
Mo, can you hear me? Or I'm out of.
Ground control to Major Tom.
Hi, Mo.
Benedicta.
Hi.
Maybe this will be a better connection for you when you get back to your home city.
Maybe because where I am, it's in a valley. And it's quite isolated.
Okay. Well, we're just going to accept
It's
your
quite isolated.
Yes. Okay. Well.
So I'm sure you can't hear me that much. Where
Now,
I am is quite isolated.
Don't move anything. Read right now. Don't move. Just read.
Horrifying assault. Internet and shallows. As injured as it seems. Make the wounds of harvest. It mimics and chooses the red dangers of the heart, yields beyond that. It's bad.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, I want to thank you for, let's give Benedicta an A for effort. Come on, let's hear it. Let's hear it. She hung in there, came back with that determination. And what a wonderful voice you have, my dear. What a wonderful voice you have. All right.
You didn't hear what I said, so why did you say what a wonderful voice I have?
We got to send you to Hollywood, Benedicta. That's on it. Netflix. We got to get you on Netflix.
Maybe. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Sleep well tonight.
Bye. 1,000 mosquito bites and more nightmares for you. More nightmares.
It's funny, Benedicta, when, if she hears me, when you talk in conversational, we can hear you. It's when you read the poem that the echo chamber kicks in. So, and we're laughing with you, not at you. Just know that we're laughing with you and not at you. So.
Oh, I'm okay. I'm fine.
Okay, good.
Oh.
That's good.
Yeah, I got to sign out. It's been nice meeting all you guys, and I just love it that you're bringing me voices from all over the world, and I hope to come back.
Well, and you're invited back. Actually, you're invited back, and that's why we call this the World Cafe.
It's a great way to spend the Sunday. We'll catch you next time.
All righty. And I want to catch everybody next time by saying thank you all. I think it was 14 of us tonight. And once again, it's just so sincerely nice to say once again, it was a very, very meaningful group of poets and a very, very meaningful poetry reading. So everybody, thank everybody. Thank you so much. Everybody, thank everybody.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Now, okay, so you can come back next week, and I look forward to this. I wish you wellness and poem on.
Okay.
Bye.
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 Bye-bye.